right, welcome to the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. I'm your man, Big Jack. This is where we prove we are stronger together, that if each one would reach one, we can all grow and glow. And today is another wonderful time to be on the stage. I'm always grateful to be before you, and we thank you all for coming out and joining us during this show. I got a wonderful guest today. You can see by the background that we're going to be talking in something that I really love to talk about. Maybe, I don't know where we're going to go with this thing, but we're always going to have a good time. A lot of milestones have been hit in the last couple of weeks, I'm going to say. We are 100% fully monetized, so I'm super excited about that. And thank you all out there who have been watching the shows and helping us getting the watch hours and getting the subscribers. And it's just the support alone. I appreciate you. Thank you. And we have proven that we are stronger together. I'm also saying I'm grateful and thankful for today. I was able to do a Big Jack Storytime Stories live where it was just me sharing my stories about who I am and the things. I've interviewed so many people across this platform, but it really never told my story. So this was an opportunity to share who I am. And I thank you for those who tuned in and watched me this morning or earlier today. But before we can, not before, but we're going to get started with this show. But before Sam, I got to bring my man up on the stage. So give me 1 second as I get him up on the stage. There he is, my man. What's up?
Four right.
Look.
Oh man, what's up, my man Jack? How you doing, sir?
It's all good, bro. What's going on,
man? I can't call it, man. I mean, it's just haven't touched my golf clubs in a week, so this show is kind of therapeutic, man. It's just like, all right, cool.
Look, I know we got the golfing backgrounds. I can't say that's the path we're going to go down, but we got a guest today, and hopefully he'll let us out on the course with him. You know, sometimes I go to courses and they won't let me play with their group because my game ain't that strong yet.
There's that part too. Yeah, there's that part.
But, one day I'll get to that point where I can play with anybody, you know, but that's all good. I'm all right.
But it's a good start. It's a good start. This is a good start, man. So
No. So I'm looking forward to it, man. So it's been, I don't know. I mean, we're in December. So we almost wrapping it up and we're getting ready to kick off and go into the universe. So we do know we're going January 1 will be the Iron Sharpening Iron Universe. So get ready, everybody. That's buckle up because we're getting ready to take off to another level come January 1. Yeah. But man, we got a good guest today. So we want to get my man up on the stage and let's get this thing off. So we're trying a little bit different today. So let's see if we can get him up there. You ready?
All right, man. Let's get into it.
Let's go. There he is. What's up, Craig? What's going on?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Man,
good to see you again.
Good to be seen, bro. Good to be seen, sir.
Yeah. So, man, welcome to the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. Of course, I'm Big Jack Storytime. That's my man, Walt Talks. And we're glad to have you up here with us today. You good?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right.
I've been anxiously awaiting since the last time we talked because I had such a good time last show that we were on, and the fellowship on live real time was cool, and I was like it'll be nice to be able to sit down and talk to you guys again. So thanks for having me for sure.
Hey man, welcome back.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. And for those who are out there in the chat and don't remember, Craig was on the Gentleman's Journal. He was on the last Gentleman's Journal we did for 2025, and he was had some great insight and dropped some great knowledge on us. So we definitely so glad to have you back on the show. So Craig, before we already started, but we are live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, we're live on Twitch. And then we'll cut this show up and we'll put some clips on Instagram and TikTok. So we're going to be spreading you as far as we can and get you out there. And you already see we got our golfing backgrounds up here. So if nothing else, we're going to get a little bit of action in there. So get you that out there and put you out as much as we can. But I just want to ask you to introduce yourself to us and let the world know who you are. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Craig Woodall. Originally, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. On this channel,
I think I may have delayed. I'm sorry. So, my name is Craig Woodall. Born and raised in Indiana. My mother was in the Navy, and so I traveled the world. I lived in Japan growing up, multiple states. Graduated high school in around San Diego area. And I joined the Air Force, so I'm a veteran. I lived in Utah for about 30 years as a lab tech, and then moved about 5 years ago to North Carolina. Ran a business for eBay and Amazon, and then now, having golfed as much as I do now, for some reason, some product came into my mind and my head, and now I guess I'm an inventor with in the golf world. So I got to make sure that my game is on top so I can, purport the or be a diplomat for the game in the right way.
Okay.
Right, make sure his game is on top. Okay. Good luck with that, sir.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, good luck on. I mean, if he might have games. I can't say nothing about that.
Hey, still good luck with that, man. He loves many, but loves no one. Good luck with that. I wish you well.
So now, Greg, you said.
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Listener.
No, I was just going to say that that for some reason the game of golf, as fun as it is very, very elusive and on so many ways, and I'm sure you guys could figure out why. But as hard as I try to make sure that I can keep on top of the game, I swear one thing, next thing is gone right for that. So.
I'm gonna tell you this: you're not alone. So we've all been in that road, or still on that road of, what happens on Monday definitely don't mean it's going to happen on Tuesday. So I don't care even if you keep the pin in the same place; it still changes every time you go out there and play. So
I have a different description of golf. I describe it as being in love with a woman you can't stand. That's the closest thing I can relate it to. If you ever been in love with a woman you can't stand, I've been married 29 years, so I ain't in that line of work no more, but I'm just saying, if you ever been in love with somebody you can't stand, that's golf. I mean, you think it's going to treat you better, and it never does. You figured it all out today, you come home tomorrow and the mailman's still sitting in the living room. So there it is. That's the way I see golf, man. That's what I tell my friends when they say they want to start playing golf. I'm like, if you can't handle that, don't start playing golf. But it's a beautiful game, man. It's a beautiful game.
How long have you been playing?
I've got 2 golf careers, probably since 93. Yeah, 93. Yeah, 93. Okay. So I got a pre-knee surgery, post-knee surgery golf careers, and both of them been okay, but neither one has been great. But I'm right there, man. Not consistent. It's like, and then golf, I don't have to tell you this. You got it all figured out, and then you start tweaking things, and then you don't leave the breadcrumbs to remember where you were when you started tweaking things. So, but this is your show, not mine, bro. I'm listening. We're listening to you today. But that's my golf story, man. I'm just getting that up the way since you asked.
Shoot, I can't even remember. When did I start? 2018? I think 2018.
2018, yeah. This guy had a different start, man. We both, real quick, we both played in the AM tour, and came in different flights.
Oh, okay.
But he came in, man, took the tour by storm, man. I mean, he was crushing. He got hardware all in his cabinets, man. I mean, he came in, I'm like, bro, you have no idea how fortunate you are
Yeah.
to experience this right here, because most people don't. But he came in, he was fundamentally sound, and he almost blew his hacker status in his first year. So, but he
Yeah,
he did well. He did
that's
very
right.
well.
That's right.
Yeah, he did
But
very well.
again, this is the Craig Woodall
It's the
show.
Craig Woodall show. I'm sorry, Craig.
So Craig, you got to explain to me, if you can hear me. I know it's a little delay, but how was Japan? How was living in Japan? Because I visited Japan, so now I want to know how was living in Japan for the time you was there.
So I think you asked how was living in Japan, and I'm gonna tell you, long story short, and this is that. First of all, there weren't too many small, skinny black boys running around, and I modeled when I was there, so I got tons of work, and so I had a really good time in Japan as a whole. I mean, and I'm talking. So I was there from 6th grade to 10th grade. The experience of going through a different country and language and all the experiences, even being backstage with during fashion shows and all those kind of things was a really cool experience. And by the way, you can't beat the type of culture that they are. They're very respectful, clean, orderly. You see nothing but orderly, and it's probably changed a lot now. But in fact, I just recently re-upped my passport, so I can't wait to get back. But and it was I got back in like 1986, so it's been many years that I've been gone. But it was a great experience overall. And I lived in Utah, like I said, for a long time. And in Utah, they have missionaries that go abroad, and as finite as the culture is in Utah, they have been abroad. And I think that everybody really, when it comes to the end of the day, should spend some time outside of the United States, because it's a vast world out there. And sometimes we get caught up in just the way that we think, we get one track minded as Americans, but there's a lot to offer out in the world in general. And I think it would behoove us to go out and kind of experience what the world is like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I vacationed in Japan and had a wonderful experience out there. So definitely know exactly what you're saying in that world. But I've never been to Utah. So now you got to explain to me Utah, because I'm going in June for a golfing trip. And
wow.
So tell me about Utah, please.
Yeah. So now when I first got there, and it was in, we'll say 91, 92, somewhere around there, the first black person I saw was on a billboard, and it was the Jazz. I remember Utah. There might have been 4 black people on that, but it took me a while. Yeah, I mean, the base is a little bit different, but there was not very many black people there when I first got there. Now, fast forward to 30 years later, the diversity is completely changed. And in fact, a lot of the things that we first experienced, the Mormon church and those kind of things, those things have also changed. But it's a very, I mean, as far as raising kids there in an area that's out in the West, you have 4 seasons. You can go to the desert, you can go to the mountains, get snow, all of those things. For the most part, safe. I would say it's a very cool place to go to. And as far as golf, now I probably only went to 2 or 3 courses. I had to start playing golf when I was there. But wherever you go, there's going to be some good terrain that you're probably going to be able to play, and you're going to have a good time there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was it's a man's trip that a friend of mine put together, and I just happened to be invited to this trip. So I'm looking forward to it. I've, like I say, never been to the state. I believe we're going to fly into Vegas and then drive over to Utah. So I guess that's the plan. So I don't know. I think the national park was at Zion. Is that
Zion? Yes,
Zion National Park is there. So that was one of the things I was looking forward to.
So I've had the pleasure of traveling through Utah on a motorcycle, going across country on a motorcycle, and I want to say,
it'd probably take you, I don't know, I mean, the way
Hmm? I'm listening.
Paige, I don't know where Paige is, but
No,
I
no,
was going to say
Mhm.
probably from Las Vegas. It'll take you like, I don't know, probably 7 hours, 6 hours maybe. The way I drive, it might take me 7.5, but you probably drive. You'll get back to just around Salt Lake City in probably 6 hours or so. It shouldn't take too long.
Okay.
So
Thought that might
yeah,
be
when we left Vegas and we just crossed the Arizona border, I guess, because that's one of the big jokes of our thing. Probably one of the motels that they tried to get the deal on. We got there and it was the double wide in the parking lot. But so we went back across the Arizona border, I believe. But man, Zion National Park on a motorcycle, absolutely incredible.
Mm.
I mean, like Utah it's just beautiful country, man. It's just like when you look at it and think about what had to happen
Oh yeah.
for that to exist, it's just like wow. Yeah, so it was just beautiful, man. But I can imagine that living there and not seeing your tribe, so to speak, I can imagine that could be a challenge. That would be a challenge. So, but hey, man, you're here and you're a more rounded, well-rounded man for it. So, shout out to Utah. Hmm.
Yeah. So and
Yeah, and like I said, that was in the beginning, and it's changed. It's changed a lot.
yeah. No, and that's good. That's good. So I'm not gonna hold it against you because I think you're the first one on the stage that's been in the Air Force, but it's okay. Somebody got to be in the Air Force. So thank you for your service. I just want to say that. So make sure I say thank you for your service.
Back at you. Some people call it what they say, chair force. But yeah, I mean, my mother was in the Navy, and she said the Air Force treats their people better, so I went to the Air Force instead of any other branch. But
sounds like yeah, man, that great decision to me. Yeah,
they're saying your mom is smart, very smart woman, 100%.
Best 6 weeks of my life.
Roger that.
Yeah. So
no doubt.
So you got a lot of experience going on in your life. So I mean, you're veteran. I see you as a director now, entrepreneur. So out of all the things that you've done, what's the one thing you think that shaped you the most? What that becoming the person that you are. So what do you think, or which area you think was the most defining for you?
Yeah. So now, and I honestly, when I think about that question, it seems like it could be very involved and or very simple at the same time. Different stages that we have growing up as a child, becoming a man, and then getting to the point where we are. I think the thing for me, to be honest with you, is that the entrepreneur spirit that I have now has basically always been brewing in me. But I really have to look at all of the stages prior to that brought me up to this point that I can look at and say, I went through that stage of my life. I became a director of a call center, and all of those things collectively allow me to take all of that skill set together and do what I do now as an entrepreneur. And at the end of the day, I'm still as inquisitive as I was, as a young man. I ask questions about the game of golf. I ask questions about the product that I'm wanting to build. I ask questions about, who does it benefit? Who gets value from it? And then I test it. I say, well, did that work? Did that work? Did that not work? And I just keep making these small changes. But I don't think that had I not been able to look back at the beginning of my life to now as an older man, if I didn't look at that with some wisdom, some trial and tribulation, that I wouldn't be the same or bring that to the table as I do now. So, I mean, at the end of the day, to answer kind of long and drawn out, is that all of those stages prior to where it is, and keep in mind, I only have a few more seasons left when at the end of the day, when reality says that I'm closer to the end of my life than I am the beginning. So I look forward to the years to come, but I can look back at the ones that are past and say, now that I'm here, I'm thankful for all those things that brought me to this point.
Okay. Good answer for sure. And so I'm gonna mention this. I know we're on YouTube. So right now, we're on YouTube with content. So do you consider yourself a content creator? And I'm more saying social media than anything. So are you a content happen to have a channel?
So, well, I think in the truest sense, I don't really consider myself a content creator because I know that there are people like yourself who have multiple channels, multiple veins out there. But I'll tell you what the impetus for why I started the channel in the first place. And I think you and I touched on this before, but my mother is now diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And at the time that I became interested in doing a channel at all, I wanted to make sure that the information I had for my sister and I, because we would have to do my mom at the Social Security Administration's office, I wanted to make sure that I had a clear record of it, and I wanted to record that those interactions, and they wouldn't allow me to do so. I'm like, we're in a public space. I just want to do this for the purpose of having correct information, and they refused it. So I kind of went down the First Amendment auditing type of kind of road. That's what kind of started it all. Watching police officers and those kind of things. And I still have an interest there. But at the end of the day, what I really think that I'm going to do, the journey that I have started with FlagMate, I think that there are so many people out there, good and bad. I mean, I'm talking about my mistakes and my pluses, the things that I've done successfully, that will be able to benefit from the journey alone. So I think that what will happen is that I will try to document the whole process so that at the end of the day, somebody, including my family, will be able to say, that's what my uncle, that's what my dad, that's what my son did. And then friends and neighbors will be able to say, he started there and got to there. And this is how he did it. So, but the answer to your question is, I mean, I'm not really a content creator. I'm standing before a person who clearly is a content creator. So yeah, I mean, I just happen to have a channel.
He talking about you, Walt.
No. We both know he's talking about you, man. hey, Craig. So let's be clear about this. What you just said, I am saying that about you. So there you go. Because I'm that far behind. I'm so far behind, I thought I was in first place. So yeah, that's how far behind I am. So yeah. So I get it, man. And that we call Big Jack all shucks. I call him all shucks to me because yeah, he just goes about doing what he does, man. But I assure you that the two of you talk together, get together, put your heads together. I'm sure eventually shortly, and you're gonna have to and you'll tell us about your device, but you will be a content creator by default when you get through talking to that guy there for sure. 100%. 100%.
All right. But we want to before Craig, we want to thank the people in the chat. I see Sharon Jackson's out there, Nisi Jackson, BBTV, Boss B is out there. So we want to thank you all. I see it's 9 million people in the chat right now or in the viewing, because everybody to me is a million. So I say every time I see there's a million people out there, each one of you is worth a million to me. So 100%, I thank you all for hanging out with us. We got Craig Woodall here. And Craig, we know you've already mentioned being an inventor. And when I started my channel, I just want to get that across. When I started my channel, I was using it just to store videos for training for my job. I didn't use it. I just wanted to store them. So what you said, it was almost the same walk that I did when I first came. I just needed a place to store my videos that didn't cost me anything. You just put it there and it's there. And then I deleted all of those videos, and that's how I started this channel. But with that being said, now I'm here and talking to you, and which is good. but you invented a product. You had invented or you're in the process of still developing it. Can you tell us a little bit about the idea and where you are with it right now? And then I got all kinds of questions for you after that. So go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So, so I started playing golf. I mean, I think it was kind of an accident. You know, my father would say, you know, you're gonna love this game, and then my brother-in-law played, and I actually went out and I started playing, and I did kind of fall in love with golf. And my wife and I found out that it was fairly cheap for us to become a member at the club that I am a member of now, and we have dual membership. So for the low price of $100 a month, I can be a member at 2 clubs. If I go out and walk, which I do nearly every day, then I do so free. It doesn't cost me a dime other than the $100. So I started going out, trying to get good. And what really happened initially was I saw how beautiful things were, and I was like, man, I could take a drone and fly the course, and you know, get the social media shots and do all this stuff. And then I walked around my neighborhood, and I saw dilapidated properties, and I'm like, I could shoot those and then, you know, give them all the information they need for fixing those up, and maybe realtors and all that stuff. So it started off as a drone thing. And I even approached the owner of the golf course, and he was like, you know, I already have a drone guy, blah, blah, blah. So then I asked him about hole location. I said, do you have a way of tracking the movement of your hole locations? And he was like, well, I have a guy, he moves the hole. We went down that whole road. And I started thinking, well, I could fly the course and I could figure out where the hole location is. Long story short, I kept talking to him, and I refined what it was that I was trying to get to, which was, why can't the flag tell me where it is? That's the question that I asked. When I asked that question, I began thinking of how I could make the flag tell me where it is. Despite the fact that people shoot with the rangefinder, you have carts that have GPS and tells you an approximate location, front, center, back. You have Arcos, 18 Birdies, all of those apps, which basically approximate the generalized location to the center of the green, maybe the front and the back, but they don't truly have an exact way to tell where the location is. When I started going down that road, I had something which I kept developing, and it's now called FlagMate. And with the data that I can capture on the flag, for example, if a person gets a hole-in-one or the course record was set, then I would be able, or a person down the road would be able to situate the course exactly the way it was, because that data was captured. So that's the road that I'm going down. I think you asked also, where am I currently? I filed a couple of different patents, but at the end of the day, that was a mistake in my early endeavor. And what I actually ended up doing was refining my patent in a way that encompasses the business as an entirety, right? So I figured out the way that I need to actually describe what the patent should do. So.
Okay, all right. Walter, look like you got something on your mind, so go ahead and drop it. I see.
So FlagMate. This is the golf course. There's a device. How does it interact with me, the golfer? I show up to this particular golf course. How do I interact with? And if it's not too much information, I don't know how far you are, as far as having a prototype out or anything. I don't want to give any trade secrets away. But how does that help me, the golfer? How do I interact with this device?
Absolutely. So the general answer to your question is, first of all, the device is for the owner or the person, the course keeper. That information that they would get allows them to have that information and provide it to the player. But the way that they will provide it, for example, if you have a cart that tells you the information, then FlagMate will be able to communicate that information to the cart. If you have an app, for example, so again, the app so it doesn't communicate directly to the player proper.
Okay.
But the information is available. Or if you have an app that has that and wants it, then it would communicate that to them as well, right? So, and the way that it helps you is that that information that they already have that's approximated will eventually become more and more accurate because of it, right? Now that's going to take some time, obviously, right? It's not like it's just going to happen all of a sudden tomorrow. I gotta do some work, right? My wife says you got to go out and pound the pavement, but at the end of the day, the vision that I have is that eventually that information will be available to you directly.
Okay, yeah, I mean, because like you said, most places have GPS. You know, there are devices out there. You know, like if I have this app, I can mark the flag, and then everybody for the rest of the day will have the pin location. But we know as golfers, we appreciate information because that's the difference between being in the bunker, off the green, not on the green, and then the average guy. I don't know if you have, but I've been playing golf since 92, 93, and man, you put a pin sheet in my hand, and it's still like Chinese arithmetic to me, man. I mean, it's still geometry on steroids, you know. So to have something simple that the golfer can plug into, so to speak, while we all know that the overload of information kills most golfers, it's good to have that information because that's the difference between hitting another club, one up, one down, whatever, you know. So 100%, man. I mean, and I think that's great. You know, now, do you have anything for coming over the top on your golf swing? You got anything that can fix that?
No, but there, I think that there's stuff out there that does that, and to your point about apps, for example, when you put the information in there and then it's available to the next person, the very instance that I had Arcos, I think it's Arcos. I think you and I talked about this as well. When I recognized that it allows you to let other people know where that information is, I then realized they don't have that information, right?
Right.
They're relying on us to be able to give them that information, and then they pass it on to their people. So what I said in my mind, eventually, if I have that information, which I do, when I have that information, they're likely going to want it, right? So
absolutely.
And that's the long way around how it benefits you as a player directly with only that app. But obviously there's other ways in my mind that it's going to benefit you because, for example, the groundskeeper who now automatically has where the hole is located, and when they get to a certain place, they're going to move that hole to the next place without which probably less time than they normally would have. Now there's more time for them to make the rest of the course better, more beautiful, cleaned, tightened up. So the benefit for the golfer is down the road, but it's really not too many steps down the road, right?
Oh, I understand. I mean, I see it.
It's a putt away.
It's a putt away.
Okay. So I just want to explain for those who are watching. So I'm gonna explain for those who are watching. So in a round of golf, every day there's a groundskeeper, and they go out there and they move the pin placement, and that's what we call the pin, the flag, where the flag is placed. Normally, it's the center of the green, or you can have it in the back of the green, or you can have it in the front of the green. Matter of fact, some courses even change the color of the flag, so you know if it's white, if it's red, if it's blue, and we know that in the front is in. What Craig is saying here now, we're going to have almost to the point or to the placement of the flag itself. So it could be in the front, but it's 2 steps off of the front or 2 feet off of the front or whatever. So we're going to know that, yes, in the front, but it's 2 feet off the front. So it changes how you approach that shot. So many times I play golf, and I'm just sharing that for the 7 million that's out there watching, that I was right where the flag was yesterday. It's like if I was here yesterday, I hit the ball at. So many times you'll hear people say,
Yep.
you know, if I'd have been here yesterday, that's what that fit, because you can still see the hole,
See the hole
when
mark,
they
right.
filled in the hole and when they created the new hole. So the green is really made out of grass. It's really dirt underneath of it, and they moved that hole around. So what you see today will not be the same pin placement tomorrow, and that's where we're talking about. And now Craig's device will allow us to know exactly, or at least the course know exactly where the hole is, and can share that information with the golfer. So very similar, and I'm just sharing this with you out there listening.
Exactly.
Very similar to when the pros play, they give them a green sheet, and it actually has the actual pin placement. So they don't get to use those devices we get to use. But now we'll, with this device, as Craig is mentioning, we'll almost have the cheat sheet like the pros have, in a sense. How many paces it's all from the left and the right and all of that good stuff. So that's pretty cool. Really is. It's really a nice device. Go ahead, Walt.
You forgot one important part.
Uh-oh.
Being responsible for setting the pins on the golf course every day is too much power for one man to have, because they can get diabolical with some of these pin placements out there. And you know, the inside joke is, we all know this because we play, is, oh yeah, this guy must have had a tough night. Because he came in here this morning and he was feeling a certain kind of way, the way he placed these pins, man. I mean, because being on the green doesn't mean anything. You can still, you know, 3-putt, 4-putt sometimes, God forbid, but we've all been there. You know, so that information, man, like you said, I mean, when you're hitting a golf shot and you have good distance, you play with much more confidence. And you know, you swing with more confidence, knowing that, okay, it's 150 yards, you know, 148 to cover, and then, you know, it gets past, and this is just geek talk for golfers, but you know, you get to the flag and then it goes downhill, and the next thing you know, you're 20 more yards away. So hey man, good for you, because we all have this discussion, but Craig, everyone hasn't acted on it, man. We always have this discussion, man, there should be, somebody should invent this thing that does this, and here you are, man. So I salute you for that, man. I mean, you know, because you answered the question, but what are you going to do about it? Here we are. So this is great.
Well, I'll tell you, my mother jokingly says, I'm sure you probably have seen it. You know, the spacers that women will have when they get their toes painted?
Yes.
It's like a little foam thing, and it spreads your toes. My mother jokingly says that, I mean, she might be serious, but she says, I created that. and to your point, your very exact point is that, and we talked about the seasons, right? Back in the day, I might have had an idea, I might have thought or asked a question, and I wouldn't have acted upon it. But the thing is that what I started to do, what I began to do with FlagMate, is once I asked the question, which was very simple, why can't the flag tell me where it is? Then I began to work on answering that question. How would I answer that question? And I tested it. And then I tested it in my yard. And I said, okay, I can see that this device does this and tells me this information. And then I talked to the course and I said, if I could do this, and I took it, can I test it out in your course? And he said, yes. And then we showed that it worked, and then I kept refining it. But like, to your point is, I did something about it, right? 100%. I acted upon it. I executed my question, and that is where it has gotten me to this point. And I hope everybody gets to the point where they at least can write down on a piece of paper, if they have a question they think is a wonderful idea, write it down on a piece of paper and then start questioning and see if you can come up with the answers, and if it has some benefit to somebody. You'd be surprised what can happen. And it doesn't have to be the almighty dollar doesn't have to be your motivation, because something as beautiful as the game of golf gave me something which I hopefully will become an income for me. But it's because I wanted to dig into it. You know what I mean? It was the passion of it all that can, just ask the questions and see if you can find the
So,
answers.
so have you ever, when you look at shows like Shark Tank, can you see yourself on a show like that, taking this thing, trying to get investors and trying to take this thing to the next level? I mean, what do you imagine those type of things?
So the real answer is absolutely. I mean, I'm a vision person. I'm a dreamer, right? Okay. So and I read somewhere that without a vision, the people perish, right? People perish, yeah. I can see myself talking to those guys and giving the pitch. And it may not even necessarily be for FlagMate. It could be for something else. But the answer to your question is absolutely, and it allows me to be able to think about talking to a banker, or think about going into a program and seeing if they can give me help for the resources they have available. But I'm always trying to seek the knowledge that will allow me to get that much closer to Shark Tank, for example.
Good for you, man. I respect that, man, because like I said, a lot of people don't act on these things, and how many times have we all heard, or we've used the service, and then it's like, man, I thought about that, man, I said that 20 years ago. I mean, yeah. So
So Craig, I'm gonna ask you this, because a lot of us that's viewing this is going to see this later don't know the process to get your stuff patent and all. So can you walk us this, high level, the process it takes to get a product before even to get a patent on it, or on the process that you went through? Can you give us some info?
Absolutely. So first of all, I basically envisioned what it is that I wanted to do, and then I had to be able to describe it. Right now, like it if you do or if you don't, I have an assistant, and this assistant is free, and it's called ChatGPT. ChatGPT allowed me to take my thoughts, write it out, and then say, this needs to be, or you could say it this way, or you could say it that way. And then I would ask ChatGPT, for example, and say, what about this piece? I just kept refining. So I have the description of what it is that I wanted to do. And then I went along that language for the USPTO, which is a U.S. Patent and Trading Office, I think is what that trademark office. And I filed for the provisional. Then later on down the road, you have a year that just is a placeholder. It just says you have this idea, and it takes care of all of these pieces of information. And then a year from now is that placeholder. You should file a non-provisional, probably with an attorney's help. And by the way, before I even got to that point, I did talk to, I think, 4 or 5 attorneys. And they probably said, we could do the research for you, and you would we charge you this amount, but you could probably do this by your own. It's only going to cost you, I think, $65 is what it cost me. So I did that step. And then I got to a certain point where I realized that I had it exactly the way it needed to be. And then I revisited one of the attorneys that I had, and I said, is this what we can now patent? And that's what we are doing now. So we're in the process of doing that. And then at the point that you do that first stage that I told you, that's when they call it patent pending, right?
Right.
Then when you file for the non-provisional, then you have the full patent.
All right. So go ahead, Walt.
Hey man, just for people who don't know, because I'm in Washington D.C., so the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office is in it used to be Crystal City. Now it's in, I guess it's Arlington, Alexandria, Virginia, right across the bridge. But my trademark that I had, 92, 93, and we, had to go in with all this stuff, and a trademark is much easier to get than a patent, because you have to have a lot of technical drawing. But think about it, man. I mean, you were able to do this on your computer, correct? You were able to do this online. Am I correct about that? For the person who's thinking like, I should try this, but I can't do all of this. I mean, you did it online. Yeah. because they've come a long way. So, hey, man, I think people need to be aware that that's not the hindrance that it used to be, you know, and you are living proof of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of what you said, not only with inventions or you know, apps, for example, there's so many things out there that just the idea alone, you can sit down and kind of work it out. I mean, really take it through the steps that you need to take it through to test it. I mean, they call it like the lean process, where you build it, then you test it, and then you find out what the answers to those tests were, and then you refine that, and then you repeat that process. You build it again, and you take that information, you test it, and that's what I did. I did all of that incrementally, to the point where a lot of people, and I'm going to say, I'm not saying a lot of people, but enough people have validated the work that I've done in a very short period of time, that says, you actually have done a lot with regards to this. And the most important thing that I think that I want people to take away from this is, it's not just the device that we're talking about. What I have been building is a business. It's something that will be able to sustain itself, not just the hardware alone. There's everything else that goes around it, right? So what you aim to do is to build yourself a network or a business that will be able to support itself. And then that's probably what's going to take you a long ways. Of course, there's people out there that have hardware that does, you know, tons of different things, or software that does tons of different things. But that alone, you hear on Shark Tank, like we said, we're not just investing in a product. We're investing in either the person or the business, right? Do you have a business?
Right.
And that's basically what I think that I'm trying to build as a business.
Good for you.
Now, Craig, I'm gonna ask you this. You have the skill set, so you did all the labor part as far as putting the product together and making it, or you go send it out for manufacturing and they send it back. So how does this device, how did it get developed? Is it something you're doing in your garage, in your backyard, in your basement? Where are you doing? How are you putting it together?
So the simplest answer is, I started with off-the-shelf products, right? So I took the technology that I thought that I needed, and then I made it do what I wanted to do, and I tested those things. And then I, in a very, very clunky way, I tested it on the course on a flag, on an actual flag. And when I say clunky, I mean, it was clunky. But that was, I just needed to test the technology, right? Then what I have to do is I have to have it designed. Now, the steps that I went through, at first I went and said, well, how can I have somebody build it? And I was looking for quotes, because my wife is like, how much is going to cost, blah, blah, blah. But the problem is when you deal with production people, is that they speak a certain language. They ask for CAD files. They ask for this. They ask for these drawings. They ask for that. I didn't know what that was. So then I had to go to a person to design it. I had to describe to them what it is that I wanted. We had an onboarding meeting, and they said, we would love to do this. And then another person said, we would love to do this. Here's how much it's going to cost. So I had to take all of those companies through my own vetting process, and I decided on a company. They're going to design it. We're working on that right now. And then later on, we're going to figure out how many we have to produce when it comes to me needing, you know, thousands of them on multiple courses.
That's good. That's good. No, it's I'm appreciating the whole idea itself and all the things that you went through to get there. So now I'm curious. I'm gonna straight up tell you now, ask you now, Craig. Here we go. How's your golf game?
So when I first start, my handicap, I have actually established a handicap, and it's around 20. I'm around 20.
Okay.
You can hang with me.
Bogey golf. Here it is.
Bogey golf. Yeah, my name.
That will travel. Believe it or not, that will travel.
I'm not a wonderful golfer. I mean, I try to be around a bogey. I try to be a bogey golfer, but when I first started, I was always above 100, and now I'm trying to keep my score 90. I'm before lower than that, but that was like what do they call it, a Super Ball, where you shoot and then you get to shoot again. But I'm trying to keep my score definitely below 100, and as long as I'm 90 lower, then I'm happy. No. Well, happy is the wrong term.
No, I understand,
satisfied. Let's put it that way.
But the average golfer out there playing by the rules, at least as close to the rules as possible, meaning you're playing it as it lies, you're taking your penalty strokes, you're not fluffing it up. Hey man, to shoot 90 to 100, that's not easy to do. That's not easy to do. Because people will tell you that, and then you get out there and play with them, and you see they're fluffing the ball, and oh yeah, I'm gonna hit this 220 yard, 230 yard fairway wood, but you just fluffed the thing up, you got it out the divot, got whatever, So, hey man, the name of the game for golf, and that's why Jack and I love it so much, is because it's sort of a metaphor for life. Do you agree with that?
I like that. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I can see. I want to hear you elaborate, but it's very apparent to me what you're talking about. So go ahead. I want to hear what when you say it.
I mean, I think that we can all agree. We can sit here and talk all day. We can go to a bar and talk all day. We can go to a conference and talk all day. I can spend 4 hours on a golf course with you, and I can pretty much find out all I need to know about the direction that our friendship will go. Is that true, Jack?
Oh, yeah.
You agree with that, Craig?
100%.
I mean, and when I say, because everybody, the beautiful thing about golf, especially weekend golfers, amateur golfers, it's a tough game. But you can set it up so you can, and I'm not going to say break the rules, but you can set the rules up for your group. You understand? I mean, we may take distance off the tee.
Absolutely.
We may do things. We might roll them in the fairway. We may play winter rules, tree line to tree line, whatever the rules are, whatever rules your group comes up with. But once those rules of your group are established, everybody plays by the same rules. And it's easy to see who doesn't, to see who takes the unfair advantage of the rules that you set up or that you agreed on for the group, And I mean, in a lot of things, if you check the rules for since COVID, I guess, a lot of things they've changed in the rules of golf have been to speed up play. Your device is one of those things that will help speed up play because it takes a lot of guesswork out. So, I salute you for that because, you're helping people, you're helping the game of golf. So that's the big picture right there. So, man, I salute you for that. And, you basically are fulfilling a need. Yeah, 100%.
And even with that, Craig, the fact that your device is international. It's not limited to just courses in Carolina, Maryland, United States. I mean, everywhere there's golf, there's your device. So that's really that's awesome right there, right? 100%.
And then you'll have to have, if I'm a golf course that wants to use your technology. Well, there you go. So as a golf course hoping to use your technology, I'm going to need at least 18 of these devices, correct? If I understand it correctly?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
There you go. I mean, think about that. That's big because we're not talking about one and done.
There would be 18 on a course. I mean, arguably we could say 20 because I wanted them to be able to rotate them, but at the end of the day, 18 at a time. Yeah.
And that's just one course, and then you go to some facilities that got 4 and 5 courses on it, like a Pinehurst.
Yeah,
that changes that game. That changes the number. So 100%.
Yeah. Nice, man. Hey, man, I'm excited. I can't wait. So where exactly are you located?
You all. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say you all have stumbled upon the same thought process that I came upon when I was thinking about how many would I need per course, and then there's multiple courses, et cetera, et cetera. And to answer your question, Walt, I live in North Carolina. If you know Greenville, where Greenville is.
Greenville.
There's a college
95?
called ECU, Eastern Carolina University, which is in Greenville.
I'm thinking out there by not what's the college out there? HBCU, but not too far from Coastal Carolina. It'll come to me, but yeah,
I don't.
It'll come to me. It'll come to me.
Camels? Are they the camels?
No, it'll come to me. It will come to me.
But you say you're near East Carolina. Is where you're near the college.
Yeah, ECU. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So I want to drop something real quick, just for those who are watching and trying to catch on, because I see Aqua Funkers here, and he said he don't do rules, so he can't play golf with that. He can't play golf with that. But for those that are out there, and I know y'all heard us just talking about some numbers and saying 190 and things like that. The normal or average golf course, the par is most likely 72. So that means it'd take you 72 shots just to shoot even par on a golf course. So if you can do it in 72, you're a par golfer. You shot par. Bogey golf meaning it took you one shot more than it would with the normal course is set up at 72. It took you one shot more, so you shot a 90 because that's that 18 plus the 72, and that makes you a bogey golfer. So that's saying that it takes you one shot more than the person that's shooting par golf. And par is, if it's a par 4, it takes 4 shots. If it's a par 5, it takes you 5 shots. If it's a par 3, it takes you 3 shots. So that's the concept. So to say you're a bogey golfer or shoots a 90 or shoot a 100, that's really not that bad at all. It really isn't that bad at all, because you're saying I'm right there, one shot away from being even. And that's where a lot of people need to, I just want to make sure if you're watching and trying to figure out what are they talking about with these numbers and stuff, that's what we're talking about. Because a lot of people say that I'll shoot 72. Yeah, wait till we see you play, because I don't trust anybody to say that, because
dropping balls all over the place.
The person that hits that ball into the woods and come out with a ball saying they found and all that, those are the ones that Walt was mentioning, that you just like, how did you find that ball? And you always find your ball. It's amazing how and then you still made par on that same hole with the ball went in the woods. It's like, how? But,
and I had it in my pocket. I had your ball in my pocket because I found your ball in the woods.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
We had that conversation before, too. Yeah.
We've done that. Yeah, we've done that.
Mm-hmm.
So with all that being said, we just want to explain. So, Craig, I'm appreciating you allowing us to get some insight on your invention, and even insight on your life. And I know you mentioned your mom and what she's going through right now. So we're praying for her, that, even everything that she's going through, that you stay strong, your sister, and then, your mom stay strong while you're going through it. So thank you for even sharing that piece of information with us, because you're not alone. And I'm sure there's people out there that's viewing that has been through something either similar or going through it right now. So thank you for sharing that information.
Yeah,
thank you.
I definitely wanted to mention that, man. I've been through that recently with my mom, who's now deceased, but I went through it with my mom, my aunt, and my grandmother. So I know that's a stressful thing. And sometimes it was golf. It's just getting out there walking the golf course that kind of gave me some peace sometimes, man. So I appreciate that. And also, I was thinking of Elizabeth City. That's what university. I was thinking of Elizabeth City is what the college I was trying to think of. Yeah, that's about as far east as I've been on Carolina.
I don't know how far I am.
Yeah.
So look,
how far I am from there, but
I want to throw this one out there, because he just got to look at put it up on the screen. This is Aqua Funk talking about his golf game. Here he is. He said, I hit a ball in one hole and it bounced out of that hole and in 3 more. I'm that good. That's what it bounced out of one hole and went into 3 more holes. So he's that good.
Oh, man.
Well, I got a video of Aqua Funk playing. So I know
really?
he wasn't supposed to be. No.
I was.
Yeah. So for all those who Aqua Funk fans, He's Aquafunk fans, Craig. I'm gonna see if I can get this video up of him playing, because this is by his golf game right here. So let me see if I can get it up on the screen. So give me 1 second to see if I can get it up. Yeah, no. Yeah, right. Let me see if I can get it up there for him. Craig, I'm just messing with him, but it's still your show, so I just want to see if we can get him up.
Oh my God. Wow.
We all been there.
I've been there.
That's Aquafunk's game right there. So yeah. Thank you for being out there. And,
thanks, Craig.
Craig, we thank you for being on the Iron Sharpening Iron Show, and thank you for taking us down the road of how to get our inventions, our ideas put in the work. Looking and rooting for you, because definitely we play. So I know if we ever pop up on a golf course and see that device or hear them tell us at the clubhouse, this is where the hole's exactly. I know where you got that information.
Where you got that from?
100%. I know the person, because I'm imagine. I wear my golf hat is the year that the golf tee was invented. That's the date I put on. Is on my hat, because I want people to know that there's inventors out there. Yeah, so it's amazing. So I can't wait till your device get out there, and I'll be wearing hopefully the 2025 hat or 2026 hat, because that's when that device is out there, and I can say this is a year that this device changed the game of golf. So
GolfMate.
I receive it for sure.
Yeah, no, 100%. So
well, let me ask you a question real quick. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So and people say, they'll be like, that's not how we shoot the game of golf. We shoot to the center of the green, whatever, blah. There may be a time that all of us, or you all may remember, when hybrids weren't in a bag.
Absolutely.
And now 90 some odd % of people have a hybrid in their bag. And my whole thing is that data and technology is changing golf. And I just happen to be one of those people that thought about something that, as simple as the question was, that is moving down the track, and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it is not a train.
So let me say, my friends, my golf friends, my nickname is Gadget Man, because anything that's going to make the game of golf easier for me or more interesting, I don't mind it. So I'm looking forward to your product, bro. Trust me, because there it is, man. I mean, like, I remember when you bought a car and you had to negotiate whether or not you wanted air conditioning in it, right? Who knew? Because I remember, for what it was, $13 more, you can have AC. And I'm like, man, I can't afford the $13 more a month. But I remember the first time I got air conditioning in my car, how women responded to that as a teenage guy. I'm like, oh man, this guy has AC in his car. All of those things were just ideas, man. So you have your idea. I'm looking forward to you bringing it to market. And once people get the technology and embrace the technology, they can never walk away from the technology. So you'll be fine, bro. You will be fine, because that technology is definitely needed.
Thank you.
And like I said, Jack and I have talked about it on several occasions, the concept, and you did something about it. So I salute you for that, man. 100%. Thank you for that.
No, yeah. Well, awesome. So, Craig, we're going to ask you to stay back as once we close out this show, we talk a little bit behind the scenes. For everyone that's out there, we thank you for tuning in to the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. We had a wonderful time. I feel much my understanding of even the process of getting my idea put on paper or put in a actual product itself. So, Craig, we thank you for that, because that's what the Iron Sharpening Iron Show is all about, being stronger together and each one reaching one so we can all grow and glow. Before we go, Craig, though, because I'm sure there's going to be somewhere out there thinking, what is the FAQ on the back of your screen back there? So does it mean anything? I got to throw that out there real quick.
So I named my channel FAQ the Madness, Fact the Madness, frequently asked questions, but it was a play on, people might say, F the Madness. I was thinking about that as well, but I'm a questioner. I ask questions, and so that's where it came from. Fact the Madness, FAQ the Madness. Yeah. So
and below that, I love that I don't chase. I attract. What belongs to me will simply find me. Man, I that's it. Those are words to live by. So, hey, man, 100%. Because what you chase usually runs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't chase. I just let it come
Yeah,
to me.
just let
The
it come to
universe is bringing it all to me. Yep.
And golf is the same way. You let the go when you get out there and try real hard. You know what happens on the golf course. You let the game come to you. You kind of get into your rhythm, and there it is, man. So that relates a lot of ways, man. So.
All right. So
yes, sir.
We thank the 10 million people that's watching right now, and we thank you all for hanging out with us on the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. Please tune in for we got Ask a Bee every day at 12 o'clock Central Time, Monday through Friday. We got a lot of different shows still going on because we got the Voices of Resilience and the Coach's Corner, and that's on Sunday, 2 p.m. Mountain Time. And then we also got Iron Sharpening Iron shows on Wednesday and on Sunday. Do know that there's no spinoff shows at the end because we'll be not say shutting down, but we'll be changing the brand to the Iron Sharpening Iron Universe. You all are welcome. If you are not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't hit that like button yet, go ahead and hit that like button. We got links out there for Craig. If you haven't seen his channel, go visit his channel. That way you can learn more about him and what his product and even who he is. So all of those things we ask you to put together. Why? Because we are stronger together. If each one will reach one, we can all grow and glow. And that's what it's not a me, it's a we. So until next time, stay sharp and we'll talk to you later. Craig, stay back. Thanks, Walt. Talk to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.